Hello, beautiful bookish family. Welcome back to Coffee Over Apples. My name is Steph. This is the winter book tag, a tag in which all of the questions are revolving around winter. Yes, that is a cat behind me laying on my clothes that need to be folded. We're not going to pay attention to that. I'm in a different setting than usual because I have some work to do after this, and I figured I feel good, I'm looking good, I got some books behind me, why not film a tag video? Thank you so much to the Booktube goddess for tagging me to do this video. If you're not following the Booktube goddess, why?
It could change the world.
Their editing is amazing, it is impeccable, and I strive to get there someday. But this tag was originally created by Marissa Wright, so thank you so much to Marissa for making this tag. The original tag video and the Booktube Goddess's channel will be linked in the description below. I'm going to answer these questions, and then I'm going to recommend a couple other channels for you to check out because I will tag them to do this video. Question number 1 is Falling Snow, a book cover with winter colors. I mean, technically, Midnight in Everwood because it takes place in a magical snow, sugar-crusted forest, but no one said I had to actually recommend a book or that I was recommending a book or that I had to mention a good book, right? Because I didn't like this. However, how could I not use this for this prompt? Because it screams winter, right? If you're anything like me, you won't probably like this book, and if your tastes are very different from mine, thank you for following me anyway, and you might like this book. You know why I'm picking it for this prompt? Because I will never recommend this book for any recommendation video, so why not use this book for a winter book tag prompt and then have the hours of suffering that I went through useful for something? Book number 2 is Crackle by Fire. A book best to curl up next to. Let me tell you. Perfect. I have yet to scream about Lore and Lust, other than on Twitter. But Lore and Lust has my heart, and I will mention it over and over again because it has been a while since I stayed up 2 nights in a row with my Kindle under my warm blankie trying to finish a book because this novella was so good. It was my perfect vampire erotic story, and thank you so much to my friend Natalie over at Pastel Writer for encouraging me to read this because it was my first 5-star of the year and I have no regrets. So I cannot wait to curl up under my blankie with book number 2. And I will be collecting these because the covers are gorgeous. If you want a sexy, queer vampire romance where the vampire system is different from any other vampire story that you've ever read, hi! Question number 3 is Ice Storm, a book that takes the characters through a brutal season. I would be remiss to not talk about my favorite manga and anime ever, which is Neon Genesis Evangelion. This is the final omnibus, which has this snowy cover on it with our main character Shinji walking through the snow with a crucified Evangelion behind them, because if you can survive the season of the apocalypse, not once, not twice, but thrice, ultimate survival. I don't know what I need to do to get all of my friends who love sci-fi, apocalypse, giant robots, and giant monsters to read Evangelion. But if you haven't read Evangelion, I'm giving this to you right now. Take good care of it. Read it. Go, be happy. Read the darkest thing, read the most psychologically messed up thing. If you don't like it, let me know, because I have not met anyone who doesn't like Neon Genesis. You will be the first if you don't like this. I can't scream about it enough. And if you don't like the manga, don't worry, because the anime is a reboot, so it's not the same as the manga. And if you didn't like that, guess what? There's a third reboot, which is the movies. So this series has been remade 3 times, and every time is so gratifying. I have been truly served. Question number 4 is Winter wishes a character living a life that you dream about. Now, this was a little challenging to answer at first because I read a lot of dystopian, I read a lot of dark fantasy, hard sci-fi, wars, horror. I don't want to live in any of those places, but after putting some thought into it, there is one character in The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet that I would like to be them, and that would be Ashby. Ashby is the captain of the spaceship in book 1. This is book 1, and Ashby is the only character, I think, that is mentioned throughout other books, or it crosses all the books in very small ways. But Ashby is so wholesome. I love them. I would love to be them, or I would love to work for them, or I would just like to be their friend. I would just like to have them in my life. Ashby thinks about their team first. I strive to be a leader like Ashby. They think about all the cultural nuances of all members of their team. They advocate for their team. They stick up when it's the right thing to do. And they ask for input from their team before they make any major decisions. They're also not quick to punish members of their team because they think about how to be a constructive leader, and that means everything to me. They have my whole heart, and I want to protect them at all cost. Ashby is probably one of my favorite characters of last year. So that is saying a lot. And then prompt number 5 is Lip Balm and Lotion, a book that is full of soothing and comforting words. Now here's a book that I haven't spoken about very often, and that is I Am Malala. This is a memoir about Malala Yousafzai, who is a Nobel Peace Prize winner, and Malala's book was so empowering. It was very sad, and I learned so much about her cultural background and what she has done, what she and her family have done as far as advocating for girls' education means so much to me. And if you two back there don't stop fighting, I'm going to flip out. Can you two, hey, psst, hey. Can you two stop fighting? Oh my goodness. Are we done? Are we done? I think I read this in 2020 as an audiobook. I highly suggest the audiobook, but if you haven't read I Am Malala and you're looking for a high quality memoir, this one is just so wholesome. Be prepared for some violence, and the lengths that people are willing to go through and go to in order to secure the education of their children, especially in a society that does not value the education of women and what women bring to society, is so important, so relevant. As sad as I was in some parts, this book left me feeling like there's hope in the world, and it left me wanting to find ways that I can facilitate that hope. So that is it for my question answers. Now I'm going to tag some friends. Let's do Spicy Cats Reads, whose videos I have been loving, as well as I've got my subscription list picked up here. How about Leanne over at Leanne's Loopy Library? Then I think I'll also tag Minx Laura 123's Wacky World, who does a ton of vlogs that I love to hang out with. And then how about Oh, I know, Megan over at Mythical Megan. Okay, that's going to be it for today. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. I post videos every week, and I'll see you later. Bye!
What's it making?